Hello, everyone. My name is Alysha Morgan, and I will be going over all of the Milestone 3 requirements. So, really quickly, I'm just going to go over some of the easier requirements, like the favicon, which, as you can see, I'm using the crown logo that I'm using on my navigation bar and on my site. Um, for the click jacking test prevention, the iframe is here, and you can see that it is refusing to connect. And the reason why that it is refusing to connect is because we have those preventions set in place. So I actually have my iframe set up where it displays the login screen. So if I didn't have those configurations set in place, you would be seeing the login screen right now. So with those two requirements out of the way, I'm going to dive right into the reCAPTCHA ones. So let's say I put in a valid email address and a valid password, but I don't check off this box. It's going to tell me to verify the reCAPTCHA. Now this time, if I say, okay, so it's giving me the image ones now. So I'm just going to go through those. And then this time, I'm not going to enter the correct password. Just to show you that the other rules are in place, it's going to give me the invalid password error message if I put in a invalid password, but I have the correct password. It's oh, sorry. I just realized I did use a password that I have registered. Okay, so now it's giving me the invalid email address. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when the user logs in correctly. And as you can see, we have made it to the verification page. So I'm going to finish the login process by filling this out. And in a moment, it should take us to the user's homepage. So here we go, welcome user, which is the default message. It's going to say welcome Alysha in a second. So that covers the reCAPTCHA requirements. The next requirement I'll go over is the password validation ones. So all of the forms that interact with a password have been changed, so those validations are set up. So the first one I will show you is what it looks like when the user changes their password after they have already logged into the website. So I'm going to click on change password here. And I'm going to enter the old password. And if I try to, oh, that did not want to remember that one. Okay, here we go. So if I were to enter a simple password, it's going to tell me that my password needs to follow the requirements at the bottom here. So now I'm going to put in a password that does meet the requirements. And now it gave me the success message. So I'm going to sign out and show you what those validation settings look like on the other forms. So we're going to the sign up page right now. And again, I'm just going to breeze through this sign up process really quickly. Hold on, let me make sure I'm using an email that I haven't used. Again, if I put in a password that does not meet those requirements, it's going to tell me this error message again. And if I do put in a password that does meet all of those requirements, it's going to give me the success message. So now the last form that I just need to cover is the page where the user changes their password before they log into the website. So now we're just going to, I'm gonna wait for this page to load first before I press submit. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna press submit. And let me see what's going on here. Okay, now the password reset link was sent to my email. So I'm going to view the email that just came in. Okay, and again, for this last form, if I try to put in a password that does not follow the requirements, it's going to give me that error message. This time I'm going to put a password that does meet our validation, and we have the success message. So that covers the password validation requirement. The next one that I'm going to go over is the browser compatibility design. So I'm going to press F12 now, and this is what our page looks like when the screen is at a smaller size. Here we go. So right now I'm at the iPad mini, but as you can see, I'm still on the password reset page, and the hamburger icon is present, and when we click on it, home and login appears. So just to show you what it looks like for when I click on like some of these different sizes, you can see that the website is usable on these different devices. So if I leave it at Surface Pro 7, I'm just going to interact with some stuff. You can see that I'm not having any issues interacting with the fields and such. It's taking a minute for the reCAPTCHA to load. Okay, here we go. I'm going to click on this. And it's going to take me to the verification page. So that covers the browser compatibility design requirement. The next one that I'll go over is the test cases. So just give me 1 second to show. All right. So now we're inside VS Code, and I'm already in my test file. And my test file has 5 different test cases for the sign up or create account form. So I'm just going to run the command inside my server npm run test, and we're going to let the test run and see if they pass or not. And this might take a minute to load. Oh no, it looks like it's running just fine. Okay, so our test just finished running, and all 5 of them passed. So these are all of the tests that I have in my form. And just to explain really briefly what all 5 of them do, the first one just checks to see if what a regular sign up form looks like. So that's if the user inputs all of the valid data correctly. For the second form, this should return a client error if the user enters a password when they select their password, and if they choose different passwords for the confirm password part. That's what this test case is checking for. Test case 3 is just checking to see if the email already exists. So if the user inputs a email address that is already registered in the system, it should give them a 400 client error. For test case 4, this is a server error. This will occur if there is a salting issue for when the user inputs their password and it's entering into the database. If the system can't salt it correctly, it will return that 500 code message. And for the last test case, this is what happens for if the salting succeeds. So when we make a password and we're encrypting the password, we have salted the password, but if we can't hash it, that's what this error case or test case is for, which is also a server error. So that pretty much, I'm just gonna scroll through these, the process of it going through all the tests, but that pretty much goes over all of the requirements. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me during class.